Hello, my name's Tara Lee Cooper. My student number is 000-70593. The following submission is for my practical case-taking demonstration for Nutrition 2, which is ADV NMN 213. My friend Christy will be helping me with this assignment today, and she's now going to read the volunteer declaration.
I, Christy Hood, on this day, the 15th of May 2015, agree to the inclusion of my contribution in this DVD video assessment, the nature of which has been explained to me. I understand that my contribution will be viewed by an assessor at the college for the purpose of assessment and marking. I am over the age of 18 and have agreed to be part of this DVD video assessment on a voluntary basis. I understand that this DVD video assessment or part of it may also be used for the purpose of further review at the college or used in moderation for validation processes. I understand and agree that my personal details and this DVD video assessment will be stored and archived in accordance with the college policy and procedure. I have read and understood the college privacy policy and procedure found at www.think.edu.au/policies and forms. My contribution has, to the best of my knowledge, been truthful and honest. I have not deliberately sought to conceal any relevant facts from the makers of this DVD video or the assessment reviewers.
Thank you. So for the purposes of confidentiality, we won't be using any specific details about any clients or using any real names. So thanks for coming in today, Christy.
Hi, how are you going?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
That's good. We haven't met before. My name's Tara.
Hi, Tara.
Hi, I'm a student practitioner at the clinic, and for the purposes of my training and to develop my case-taking skills, I've been asked to conduct this interview with you today, if that's agreeable to you.
That's great, thank you.
Okay, so I understand this is your first time coming into the clinic?
Yeah, it is, yes.
And how did you hear about us?
A Google search, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
That's handy. So, as this is your first consultation, I'll just sort of talk to you a bit about what we'll plan to do in this initial consultation. So, we'll just, first of all, it will be a lot of questions about the reason that you've come in today.
Fair enough.
And from there, we'll go through a bit of history and review relevant body systems. And from the information that we've gained throughout that, we'll be able to form a primary and a differential diagnosis.
Okay, great.
And then we'll be able to sort out, the best, most suitable sort of way to proceed with your treatment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so tell me a bit about what's brought you in here.
For a long time now, I've had stomach complaints, stomach upset. And I'm over it, to be honest with you.
Okay, so when you say for a long time, how long has it been?
It's been 12 years.
12 years. Okay, and how does it affect you?
I have bloating, cramping, and diarrhea every single day.
Every day? Yeah. Wow, that's pretty intense. And does anything happen before the bloating and diarrhea?
It's normally after I've eaten, like a heavy meal or a couple of things sort of bring it on, but and it's worse in the morning.
So how long do the symptoms last when the bloating and the discomfort's going on? Does it last for a long time or only a short time?
Yeah, it lasts for about 10 to 40 minutes, and then I get like an intense pain in my stomach, so around here, and then I just feel as though I need to go to the toilet, like it's critical.
Right. And do you actually have to go to the toilet?
I do.
Okay, and how is that?
It's loose and watery, to be honest. Yeah,
okay.
It's pretty gross, but.
No, that's and is it always like that when you've eaten, or?
Yes.
Okay. Does it go away at any time after? Does that relieve it when you go to the toilet? Does that make it better?
Yeah, it does. But I'll get it again if I have the heavy meal or drink caffeine or that sort of thing. It's
right. So is there any time during a day when you feel completely good?
Not really. No.
Is there any other sort of feelings apart from you described a sharp stabbing pain and the wind? Is there any other sort of any other feelings that are going on at the time?
Yeah. After I've been, I get sort of a burning feeling around near my backside, and so that's yeah. I know it's a bit embarrassing, but it's not
what's
very
happening.
pleasant.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's the reason that you're in here, isn't it? So, apart from in your stomach and when you go to the toilet and the burning that occurs, then is there any other pains going on at the time? Does it radiate to anywhere else in your body?
It does actually, yeah. For some strange reason I get a sharp pain in my right shoulder. I don't know why.
Right shoulder. Is it always your right?
Yeah.
And does that happen do all these things happen at the same time, or are they distinct?
Yeah, they do.
So the burn, so basically the stomach and the right shoulder happens at once.
Oh, okay. So I go to the toilet, and like when I have that intense pain, I have the pain in my right shoulder and the burning sensations after.
Yes, I see. And you get and this happens every single day?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Is there anything that seems to, apart from you've mentioned caffeine, are there any other foods that seem to?
Bread, like white bread, so gluten sort of, and dairy actually as well.
Okay. Right. And going back to 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
Did the condition develop rapidly, or was it sort of gradual?
Well, I think from memory it was kind of gradual, because the last 5 to 7 years it's been a lot worse. It's gotten worse in the last 5 to 7 years.
Okay, so it's just is there any periods of remission, or it's just steadily been getting worse?
Yeah, it has.
Okay, so was there anything that triggered the initial?
No, I don't think
that
so.
seemed to be associated with the beginning.
I don't think so.
Okay. So is there anything that makes it that relieves, that gives you any relief?
No.
Is there any relief at all when you have a bowel movement?
Yes, that's the only time. But obviously, I get that burning pain as well. So I never really feel 100%.
Right. Are your bowel movements ever fully formed?
They are sometimes. Like I can normally, like the colour, like when I pass like a dark brown poo, it's
bless you.
Yeah. So those ones are normally formed.
Oh right. So how many of those? How many times do you go in a day?
1 to 2 times a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of them might be in, one of them not. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's that more often they're the like loose, watery, yellowy green ones, but occasionally it'll be a darker brown one. Yeah.
Does it tend to be more? Is there more symptoms in the morning or the afternoon, or?
Yeah, in the morning more so. I wake up feeling really awful. I have like this horrible taste in my mouth, and just waiting to go to the toilet. Sort of, it's never.
And do you eat breakfast when you first get up?
Normally, not straight away, but normally. And if it's, I have to be careful what I eat. If it's a heavy breakfast or something, it's I get the pain and have to go straight away. But most mornings, I have these symptoms.
Yeah, right. So I would imagine that would bother you with. I've noticed here that you work full time.
Yeah,
impact on your day.
Yeah, it's really annoying. It does impact, and there's other things that have been impacting on me as well. And yeah, I'm really struggling actually.
All right. Do you do anything? Do you do much physical activity? Or?
No, I don't. No.
And what about like leisure activities? Do you drink alcohol?
Yeah, I do mainly on weekends, and I can really I'll drink like beer or rum, and but I can only really have two. I feel
Okay.
awful if I have any more.
Do you smoke cigarettes?
I don't.
Okay. Do you know of any allergies? Have you ever been tested for allergies?
Yeah, I have. I've been tested for pollen, and I'm allergic to pollen.
Pollen?
Mm.
Have you ever been tested for anything else?
No.
Okay. So, apart from the stomach upsets, how would you describe your health?
Oh, not very good, really. I also I get acid reflux as well. So that's It seems to, I don't know if it's got anything to do with the stomach upset, like with the going to the toilet, but it seems to be brought on at the same sort of things.
Okay.
Mm.
And have you ever sought treatment for that? Does anything make it better?
Yeah, I take Nexium actually, and that seems to help.
Now, so I'll just summarise a bit of what we've talked about so far, just to make sure that I've got a grasp of the situation. So the primary complaint, the thing that's affecting you most at the moment is the stomach upsets and the bloating and the cramping,
Yes.
Diarrhea, and the symptoms that seem to occur after you eat certain foods or have a heavy meal. Caffeine and dairy and bread seem to be provoking factors. And it happens daily, every day, and it persists for most of it. It's there in one way or another for most of the day.
It is.
And it seems to be worse in the mornings. Bowel movement relieves it slightly, but doesn't make it completely go away.
No.
And other associated things that are going on seem to be the right shoulder pain and acid reflux. And there's obviously diarrhea. And is there any other situations with your health that you would like to?
Yeah, I do suffer from sort of skin rashes. I've had hives on my throat. That was only sort of an occasional thing. I don't get that very often. But the other rashes I have are sort of in my private areas, front and back, that's debilitating to me. It's affecting my social life, I feel, and feeling quite depressed about it.
So there seem to be two different kinds. You described the hives on your throat, and this other rash that contained.
They are different. I went to my GP recently, and he said that it's a fungal skin infection. So I've been taking antibiotics for those.
Okay. And is that helping at all?
Well, a little bit, I think.
And do you find that anything is makes the fungal situation worse?
Yeah, when my body heats up, like in summer, it's worse, or if I exercise or anything like that, I get itchy and it stings.
Yes, I see. All right, so what we'll do now is we'll just go through the relevant body systems, and from what we've discussed so far, it would seem that a good place to start would be the digestive system. So it might seem like we're going to go over things maybe a couple of times, but at least we've got a good basis of a good understanding from which to proceed. But I'll just ask you a couple of questions about your medical history. We've touched on a few things. We've touched on the allergies, but you did mention antibiotics. Have you taken many antibiotics over the course of the situation?
Yeah, I have for the skin infection, but also I've had middle ear infections over the years. I only probably get one or two a year, but they're treated with that.
Okay. So, as far as your medical history goes, have you ever been hospitalised or had any surgery or serious illnesses?
I had scarlet fever when I was 17. That was quite bad as well. I get regular colonoscopies every year because I have it's a history of polyps in my family. So it's a check to make sure everything's okay. But I have had numerous polyps, benign ones, removed over the years.
Right. And is there any family history of sort of the problems in the colon?
Yeah, there is.
And who I suppose?
My auntie, my maternal grandmother, and my mother as well.
Right. And have they all had a similar situation with the,
yes, they have.
The polyps,
yeah.
non-polyps? Okay. Right. And so how were you treated for the scarlet fever?
I was put on antibiotics for those. It went away after about 10 days, but it was a bad 10 days.
Yeah.
Contagious and yucky.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And do you know if you've had all your immunisations?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that your mother and your auntie and your grandmother
yes,
all had
I think they call it hyperplastic.
Hyperplastic?
Yeah, they're the type of polyps.
And when did you have the operation to have those removed?
It was 5 years ago.
And you've had regular colonoscopy since, and have they all been clear?
They have.
That's good. So, with your digestive system, we'll start with your mouth.
Okay.
So that's good for your things. Do you have any problems with your gums or your teeth? Or?
No, not really. Just that bad taste in my mouth when I wake up.
Yes. Would you describe that as bad breath as well, or is it just a taste?
I'd say so. Yeah.
And what about any bleeding gums? Or
No.
Dry lips? Do you get anything?
No, not really.
No. Nothing really adverse going on up there?
No.
No. And we know that with your upper digestive system, you get heartburn.
I do.
And that Nexium helps it. Is there any other things that you can do to help that you've noticed?
No, not really. No.
And do you get any of these symptoms? Burping, belching?
No.
Nausea?
Yes, I do get nausea. Yes.
And you've mentioned bloating?
Yes.
Do you ever, does it ever cause you to vomit?
Occasionally.
Okay. Now with the lower digestion, diarrhea, do you ever get constipation?
Occasionally. It's more the other.
Yes. Have you ever had hemorrhoids?
Yes, I have actually.
Okay. When was the last time?
That was about 2 years ago.
Any other times?
No.
Right. And we know that the bloating and pain's a big problem.
Yes.
Have you ever had any hepatitis infection?
No.
Okay. Now, bowel habits is one to 2 times daily.
That's right.
And so unformed in the morning.
Yeah.
After heavy meals. You described, you talked a bit about colour earlier. You said darker tends to be more full.
That's right.
Form, sorry.
Yeah, and greeny, yellowy otherwise.
Is there ever any blood
No.
visible? Okay. All right. And do you notice if the stools float or if they tend to sink? Or
I haven't noticed. I'm sorry.
No. Oh no, that's okay. It's
Yeah.
not a question, but they do. They're really important.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, with your immune system, you've mentioned that allergy to pollen and the fungal infection.
Yes.
Also, the scarlet fever at age of 17, wasn't
That's
it?
right.
Okay. Is there anything else? Any other infections or?
Oh, just the middle ear infection.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for that. Okay. Do you know if you have any food allergies?
Well, maybe to gluten.
Yeah.
But I have not been tested for that.
And you mentioned dairy.
Yes.
And caffeine you seem to have an intolerance.
I do.
to that.
Yeah.
And you avoid alcohol for the most part.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just a light thing, really.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much for that.
Okay.
Now, I think that based on that the tentative diagnosis at this stage would be that the problems with your stomach are quite probably caused by a food intolerance, and that's evident in the symptoms as you describe it. And you did mention milk, and it's interesting that you've noticed that because milk is quite often causes the symptoms of that you've described.
Oh, okay.
As far as food contributors go, that does seem to be probably the first thing that we'd take a look at. So you would probably eliminate that from the diet for the
Yes.
first couple of weeks until your follow-up consultation. And, if we just sort of commence a sort of elimination diet and if you'd like to start a food diary that just outline what you eat and what you drink during the day. It doesn't have to be detailed, just quick
That's
notes.
a good idea. Yeah.
And any symptoms, any sort of adverse symptoms that you get, just the timing.
Yes.
That would be helpful as
cool.
well. The differential diagnosis, to me, it has to address the pain that radiates to your right shoulder. There's a few things that consistently cause it to go to your right shoulder rather than somewhere else. And one of those that would seem fairly consistent with the symptoms that you've described is a gallbladder issue.
Oh, okay.
So, at this stage, it would be something that we'd follow up with as well. So, further investigations. So, as far as a treatment plan for you goes at this stage, I think it's important to firstly avoid what seem to be the most likely causes of the situation.
Sure.
And in doing that, that's really important to start with, because when you're constantly exposed to something that doesn't agree with you, basically, it causes inflammation.
Yeah.
And when that happens over and over again, and the inflammation, or the purpose of it, which is to prevent any further adverse reactions within your body, when that doesn't win and it's recurrent, it causes all sorts of changes to your function, to your immune system, to the balance of microorganisms in your digestive tract, and a cascade of events. So it would be beneficial to start with a probiotic as well. Have you ever taken?
I have. Yeah.
Probiotics? Yeah, that's good. So the Multiflora, I'll just write these details down.
Thank you.
It's called Multiflora. That's a probiotic.
Yeah.
And if you just take one of those in a day, that'd be a good start. I'd like to give you a product called Veggie Digestate.
Okay.
And what that contains enzymes to help digest your food,
Oh, cool.
because if there's not enough enzymes present, which can, a lot of conditions similar to those that you've described, they can alter the sort of balance with enzymes and bacteria. And if you don't have adequate enzymes, you can't probably break down the food that you eat. And so food, instead of being broken down properly, passes into your intestines, where it continues to ferment and and cause all sorts of disturbance. And then it can enter circulation, because it causes the inflammation causes your gut to be more. It allows more things in and out, and
oh wow.
And then all sorts of nasty things. So if we can provide you with additional enzymes, then make sure that you are properly digesting your food, and just provide that bit of support. And you should take those. Take 3 per day. With your meals.
All right.
Because that's that facilitate absorption of nutrients from your meals. Now the third thing would be Livton, which is just to support your liver and your gallbladder, your accessory organs. Because they'll have to they get rid of the excess, and they're elimination organs. So it's important to make sure that they're sort of functioning optimally. So while your system is is restored. And also they also contain anti-inflammatory herbals and botanicals such as aloe vera, globe artichoke. Can help with produce bile to help emulsify fats and other things in your diet.
Oh wow.
And also St Mary's milk thistle. I don't know if you've heard about that, but it's
no, I haven't.
That helps to support your liver as well.
Oh, great. Thanks.
So that, as far as the prescription goes, that for the supplements, that I think that's a really good place to start. And there are other things to be that we'll take into account with your diet. When at your follow-up consultation, we'll go into your diet in more detail. But for now, avoiding milk for the next until your follow-up consultation would be a good idea. And we'll have a better idea about that. Apart from that, it would be beneficial to increase the amount of fibre. And as I said, we'll go into your diet more next time. But just for your awareness, there's starches and some starches that will particularly help with your condition. And they'll do that by providing a physical barrier between for your gastrointestinal tract, and sort of protect from the symptoms that you described and the pain. Just give you a little bit of a line in there. And so what we would expect from this treatment is that when you come back in 2 weeks, your stools will be 50% more formed.
Right.
And that will mean that you'll be absorbing more nutrients, and the transit time through your system won't be so fast, so you'll be able to utilise what the advantages of your diet better. And also with the gastrointestinal disturbances, I would expect a 30% less occurrence and severity with those.
Right.
There's a lot in this to take into account at the moment, but I think it's important to get on top of it fairly quickly, so that you can begin to heal up. And we'll go into some things more at your next consultation. But that seems like a good place to start. What do you think about that?
Look, I'll be honest with you, I'm really excited actually. Just looking forward to feeling a lot better. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Christy.
Thanks very much.